The 2019 NBA Draft is a draft that I'll never forget, in large part because the Pelicans won the NBA lottery that year, which meant that you couldn't tell me anything at the time, but also because one of my favorite prospects in the draft fell all the way to the 44th pick. When Bol Bol fell all the way to 44, there's no other way to put it. I was stunned, and so was he.
With the 44th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Bol Bol from Khartoum, Sudan, and the University of Oregon.
What's so tough about Bol Bol's fall is that he was a very productive player at Oregon, averaging 21 points and 9.6 rebounds before a stress fracture in his foot took him out for the entire season. What's also tough is that my man was ready for the moment. When it was draft day, his suit lit up the entire room. And even though the camera continued to pan to his face throughout the draft to show his visible frustration, his actual reaction to being drafted would tell an entirely different story.
I got here and Bol said the wait is over. So how does it feel to walk across the stage?
I've been dreaming this for my whole life and it feels pretty good.
So you'll be going to Denver and you know that your NBA career is ahead of you even though you had to deal with sitting out due to injury. What do you want to prove when you step on the court?
I just want to prove everyone wrong and just come out and be the best player I can be.
And what does that player look like?
You guys seen it on YouTube, but I mean, just pretty much that, bring that to NBA and plus more and develop and be a better player.
You know, everyone in here erupted when they called your name, so there's an affinity for you in here. What was it like to hear that applause?
It feels pretty good because I didn't know I had that many fans until right now.
It still makes no sense to me how a guy that was invited to the green room was able to fall so far in the draft where he was once looked at as a lock for the lottery. For those of you that don't know how the green room operates, basically invites are given to the top prospects for each year's drafts, and presidents or GMs of NBA teams are given the opportunity to vote on the top 25 players that they believe will be selected first. Bol Bol got the invite, but yet he went 44th. Now I do understand that the invite might be meaningless at the end of the day, but again, at the time, there were people that believed that Bol Bol was worthy of a top 10 pick, and well, I was one of them. As of right now, it's looking like I couldn't have been more wrong for thinking that. And truth be told, what just happened isn't helping my cause at all. But first, with the NBA season being over, I've been using PrizePicks to watch sports and games that I usually wouldn't. And let me say this, while I've been waiting for the NBA to return amid all of this chaos, I've actually been having a ton of fun, and pick-wise, I haven't done too bad either. Out of tons of plays, here are some of my wins. I'm going to start posting some plays to my IG daily so you guys can know exactly how I'm doing. Feel free to contact me over there and let me know exactly how you're doing too. When you sign up for PrizePicks, be sure to use code COOP, because when you do, you'll get your first deposit instantly doubled for up to $100. Huge shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's content. Almost every year, it feels like there's another player being marketed as either the next Kevin Durant or some unicorn that's going to break the game of basketball for everybody that wants to play it. And while some of these players go on to have more than solid NBA careers, there are others that don't. Does anybody remember the 7-foot ball-is-life phenom Thon Maker? The guy that had Kevin Garnett calling him a future MVP while also drawing comparisons to Kevin Durant? Unironically, my man is still balling, and in fact, looks like Kevin Durant, but unfortunately, it's just not happening in the NBA. As a hooper, I know that hooping anywhere professionally is a fat W, but sadly, I do fear that something like this also has the potential to happen to the 7'2" Bol Bol that I love so much if he doesn't put everything together. Wednesday, July 5th, Woj would drop news that would yet again raise eyebrows and have everybody wondering what's next for Bol Bol. Woj announcing that Bol Bol was being waived wouldn't be the most surprising thing ever. but it would still be news that would have this ripple effect across social media, and rightfully so. A lot of people love Bol Bol. It's not every day that a 7'2" big that can play like a guard while possessing a historic 7'8" wingspan becomes available. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm taking this skill set on my team every single day of the week.
Away from the ball, you make a great cut, he's going to find you in there. Rebounded by Bowles. Bol with the spin move and the step through and drops the hammer. That's going to bring the roof down at the Amway Center. Everybody out of their seat.
Somehow, I'm still in disbelief that he's able to pull things like this off, and I've been watching this guy for a very long time. This right here is beautiful. He grabs the board, pushes the tempo, beats a good wing defender in DeAndre Hunter, who probably figured that this guy shouldn't be doing this, takes on 2 more players, and finishes the whole sequence off with a long arm dunk. Are you kidding me? What I love about Bol Bol is that while this is technically a highlight for him, this is also normal for him, and honestly, maybe that's part of the problem. At the moment, Bol Bol's game is a whole lot of flash and not a whole lot of substance, which probably isn't what you want to hear for somebody that was being compared to a young Kristaps Porzingis coming out of college. This season, despite a logjam in the front court in Orlando and the Magic being nowhere near as bad as everybody thought that they were, Bol Bol was able to have his best season yet from a statistical standpoint. Before Bol Bol got COVID and then later fell out of the rotation, there was a point where he had made 32 straight starts. This season, he would average 12.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks per game while shooting 57.3% from the field and 36.2% from deep in all of his starts. Those numbers aren't too bad for somebody that was taken 44th in the NBA draft. But of course, numbers are numbers and they never tell the full story. Bol Bol's numbers across all games last season would be a bit worse. He would average 9.1 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks on the season while shooting 54.6% from the field and 26.5% from deep. If Bol Bol ever wants to carve out a consistent role in the NBA, that's a number that he's just going to have to get up. Right now, he's just not bringing enough elsewhere to the table, and I say that as a major Bol Bol supporter. Again, that substance that we were talking about earlier just wasn't there for him. Despite having good block numbers, he struggled defensively. He would look too weak for some bigs and too slow for some wings, which made it very hard to find a true position for him. What also didn't help is that there were times where he'd look flat out lost or just not put forth the effort to even contest the shot. Now, this might sound incredibly dumb, but with all of this being said, I still think that there's hope for him on the defensive side of the basketball. He has some tools. Effort and IQ along with scheme go a very long way in the NBA. Now, offensively, Bol Bol is supremely talented. He has a soft touch, should be a better shooter, has a nice handle for his size, knows how to use his length, but also needs to become a more willing passer and play with a higher IQ and motor. What's so frustrating is that a number of Bol Bol's problems seem to be completely mental, and they unfortunately have seemed this way for a while, and his teammates would tell you the same thing. Seasons ago, when MPJ was asked how Bol Bol could establish a presence in the NBA, he'd say that it's going to take a mindset change. And to that, Bol Bol would say he's totally correct. To add on to that, it's more so consistency. It's not just me doing it 1 day or 2 days a week. I've got to figure out how to put it together for a whole entire year, and not just when things are going my way. Simply put, guys, if Bol Bol wants to find consistent minutes in the league on his future teams, he has to lock in and become a star in his role. Do the small things, rebound, make the right rotation. Don't just block shots. Seriously engage on the defensive end of the basketball. Bol Bol has the length to be a terror on the defensive side of the basketball. Blocking shots, altering shots, playing passing lanes. He's capable of doing all of this. Alex Caruso said it best when he talked about why guys get stuck in the G League. To quote him, They don't realize the position that they're trying out for. It's like going to a job interview thinking you're going to be the CFO of a company and they're looking for somebody to clean the bathrooms. Let's be real, guys. The honeymoon phase for Bol Bol is over. Here's to hoping that our guy adapts like we know that he can and will. You guys know that I'm going to believe that he will and think that he's an absolute steal no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you can do a lot worse than buying the upside of somebody as young and as talented as Bol Bol. The guy is only 23 years old, and to be very fair to him, he's still learning on the fly. He'd only played in 53 NBA games in 3 years prior to this season. That's not a lot for a young player that needs more experience. Guys, do you think that Bol Bol will turn it around? And what does turning it around look like for him? In the comments below, let me know what you think about everything. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.